What if you could have anything you ever wanted? Not just a dream, but something truly impossible. Imagine asking for a fortune that could never run out, or bringing someone you lost back from the dead. Maybe even changing something about yourself that no science or doctor could ever achieve. These aren't wishes that come true with luck or effort. They're the kind people tell you to forget because they can't happen. But what if I told you there's a way? A way so strange and hidden that most people would never believe it, and the few who do wish they hadn't. There's a place, ancient and forgotten, where any wish can come true. The price isn't gold or money, and it doesn't need you to make deals with devils. But it does come with rules, strict ones. Rules that can't be bent or ignored. You have to follow every step exactly, and even then, it's dangerous. The wishes granted here are real, but so are the risks. Many people say they can handle it. They think, how bad could it be? But those people don't come back. Not the same anyway. The truth is, this ritual has existed for longer than anyone knows. Some say the most powerful people in history knew about it: leaders, musicians, even tyrants. But they keep their secrets buried deep, hidden from the rest of the world. It's not a scam or a trick. If it were, it wouldn't have survived for so long. This ritual has taken its place in whispers, legends, and rumors. And yet, it's not some fairy tale. It's real, and it works every single time if you're brave enough to follow the rules. But bravery isn't enough. You need patience, determination, and the ability to make sacrifices. That's the catch. This isn't a path for the curious or for the desperate. It's only for those willing to risk everything for something they can't live without. You don't just stumble into this kind of thing. You have to be ready, because there's no turning back. Once you start, the path will take you places you never imagined, places far darker than the wish you think you need. So, ask yourself this: what's your impossible wish? And more importantly, what are you willing to risk to make it come true? Because once you begin, you can't stop. The only way out is through. Now, let's talk about what you'll need to do first, the place where your journey begins. Finding it isn't as easy as typing into a GPS. It hides itself from anyone looking. But there's a way, a small window of chance, to make it appear. And that's where we're going next. Section 2. Introduction and the impossible wish. Some things in life feel just out of reach, but others, they seem impossible. Not just hard, not just unlikely, impossible. The kind of wish that no amount of effort, money, or time could ever make real. Like undoing a tragedy, rewriting your past, or becoming something that defies nature itself. It's the kind of longing that keeps you awake at night, gnawing at your thoughts. And yet, somewhere deep down, there's always that tiny hope, that flicker of belief. What if it could happen? But the world doesn't offer miracles, not freely. Or at least, not without a cost. This isn't about wishing on stars or waiting for some magical twist of fate. This is something entirely different. It's ancient, old enough that even those who know about it can't trace where it began. Some say it's been passed down through the centuries, whispered between those who dared to believe and survived. Others claim it's been used to shape the world we live in, though no one would admit it openly. This ritual is not for dreamers or gamblers. It isn't kind, and it doesn't forgive mistakes. It works, but only for those who follow its rules with precision. There are no second chances. And the cost? It isn't measured in money or things you can replace. The price is personal. Something valuable to you, something tied to your soul. The truth is, people who attempt this don't do it lightly. They aren't curious. They aren't playing games. They come because they need something more than life can offer. Maybe it's revenge, maybe it's love, or maybe it's a second chance at a life they ruined long ago. Whatever it is, it's something they can't let go. The wish you ask for has to mean everything to you. This isn't a place for whims or fleeting desires. And once you step into this process, the choice is made. There's no turning back, no changing your mind halfway through. The ritual demands commitment, and it doesn't care whether you regret it later. This is where impossible becomes possible, but nothing about it is safe. Every part of this journey is designed to test you, to see if you are worthy. If you falter or make even one wrong move, you won't just fail, you'll lose everything. But if you succeed, your wish will be granted exactly as you asked. That's why only a few even try. Most people, when they hear about it, laugh it off or get scared. But some believe, and belief is the first step. Now, let's talk about how you begin, because finding the place where wishes come true is the hardest part of all. It's not waiting for you, it's hiding. And only those who know where to look have a chance to see it. If you think this is a place you can search for, you're already on the wrong path. It's not something you find on purpose. The church doesn't want to be found, it decides if and when it appears. The harder you look, the further away it seems. No amount of maps or GPS coordinates will lead you there. People have tried. They searched every corner of every town, only to end up lost or worse. But there's a way, an uneasy, unpredictable way to make it show itself. It begins at the edge of town, not the outskirts, not the suburbs, but the very edge where the world feels like it's falling away into nothingness. A place no one goes on purpose, where streetlights fade into black and the roads become narrow ribbons of cracked asphalt. That's where you need to be, but only at night. During the day, it's just another forgotten road, dull and empty. But when the sun goes down and the air turns cold, that's when things start to shift. It happens quietly, almost like a trick of the mind. First, the wind stops, the kind of silence that presses on your ears, making you aware of every breath, every heartbeat. Then, if you've made it far enough, the trees along the road will bend just slightly until their branches touch, forming an arch. It's a subtle, unnatural movement, as if the forest knows you're there. If you see the archway, you're on the right path. If you don't, turn back. You won't find the church that night. And here's where it gets tricky. You can't bring anyone with you. No friends, no pets, nothing. The church isn't interested in company. People who ignore this rule don't come back with stories. They just don't come back. There are rumors of someone who tried, thinking they could leave their partner in the car for support. The partner vanished without a sound, leaving nothing behind but fear and confusion. If the archway appears, you park your car and leave the keys inside. Locking the car won't help. The church doesn't like hesitation. And once you close the door, don't look back. Whatever happens behind you is no longer your concern. Take only what you need: a lantern, not a flashlight or a phone. The church values tradition, and it won't tolerate shortcuts. If you try to cheat, you'll pay for it. The rules are there for a reason, even if you don't understand them. This is the first step in a long journey, and it won't wait for you to second guess yourself. Either you walk forward into the unknown, or you walk away forever. But be warned, once you start, the church knows you. Whether you succeed or fail, it remembers. And from this point on, there is no easy way out. If you followed everything perfectly so far, the church will let you get closer. But from here, every choice matters. One wrong move, and the forest around you will close in like a trap, swallowing you whole. The church is waiting, but it's not waiting for long. You'd better keep moving because standing still, that's where most people make their final mistake. This is not a journey for two. The church expects you to come alone. No passengers, no pets, no one waiting nearby. The presence of others disrupts the ritual, and the church has ways of dealing with anyone who tries to break this rule. It won't be a warning, it'll be permanent. If you value the people in your life, leave them behind. When you park your car by the archway, leave the keys inside. Don't try to lock the doors or take the keys with you. It's part of the rules. The ritual doesn't tolerate second thoughts. Once you step out and close the door, you're on your own. And whatever happens from here, never turn around. Curiosity can kill more than just time. You need a lantern, an actual lantern. No modern gadgets. The church values old ways, and if you try using a phone or flashlight, it won't just malfunction, it'll destroy itself in your hands. Tradition is everything here, and breaking even a small rule could end with you regretting ever trying. This is not the time to hesitate. Every choice counts, and every step forward locks you deeper into the ritual. This isn't a casual experience, it's a test. You follow the rules exactly, or you don't make it out. Once you pass through the archway, the forest becomes different, quieter, heavier. There's no wind, no animals, no sound at all. The silence feels like a weight on your chest. This isn't just any forest. The trees here are old, twisted, and alive in ways you can't understand. They watch you, though they never move. Stay focused, this isn't the time to panic. Don't use your lantern until you break through the first line of trees. If you light it too soon, you won't find the right path, and you'll have to leave immediately. There are no second chances. But if you follow the rules, a narrow path will appear, hidden beneath the overgrowth. Once you see it, stay on it no matter what. You'll hear whispers along the way. Ignore them. No matter what they say, do not respond and do not stop. The forest tries to lure people off the path, and those who leave it are never seen again. This path is the only thing keeping you safe, and every step counts. The further you go, the more you'll feel the presence of something watching, waiting. But as long as you stay on the path, you'll be fine. Keep moving. This forest doesn't forgive hesitation, and it doesn't care about fear. You follow the path, or you disappear into the dark. After what feels like forever on the hidden path, you'll finally see it's a stone structure covered in ivy and moss, with doors hanging open like a gaping mouth. The sight will hit you hard. You'll want to turn back, every instinct in your body telling you to run. But it's too late for that now. Once the church reveals itself, you're already committed. This is not a place that welcomes visitors. The air feels heavier here, as if time itself has stopped. The walls are cracked, ancient, and cold, but they still stand, waiting for someone bold or foolish enough to enter. It won't feel right. That discomfort is normal, part of the test. Ignore the voice in your head telling you to walk away. The church wants to see if you'll give in to fear. Now, you have only one option. Step through the doors. Whatever comes next, the moment you cross that threshold, the ritual truly begins. Once you step inside, the door will close softly behind you, sealing you in. The silence here is different, thicker, heavier, like it's pressing down on you. The air feels cold, and every breath seems harder to take. This is the point of no return. The aisle stretches in front of you, dim and lifeless, like a path leading into the unknown. No matter how tempted you are, don't look at the pews. Something is there, but if you don't look, It won't see you. Keep your eyes forward, ignore the creeping feeling on your skin, and head straight for the altar. When you reach the altar, you'll see a plain white candle and an empty bowl waiting for you. This is where the real ritual begins. And whatever happens from this point forward, there's no turning back. You've made it this far now, it's time to offer something meaningful. The altar doesn't care about money or fancy things, it wants something personal. Your offering has to mean something to you, something that hurts to give up. It could be an old photograph, a small gift from someone important, or anything tied to a memory you can't replace. If it doesn't carry emotional weight, the ritual will know, and things won't go well for you. Place the item carefully next to the candle. If it's the right kind of offering, you'll feel the air grow colder, and without warning, the candle will light itself. The flame will flicker weakly at first, almost as if it's testing your resolve. If the candle doesn't light, leave immediately. Whatever you brought wasn't enough, and staying any longer would only make things worse. But if the candle does ignite, you're on the right path. The flickering flame is a signal your offering has been accepted. Now, the next step is crucial, and hesitation could cost you everything. You need to kneel, close your eyes, and let the silence consume you. Once you kneel, close your eyes and keep them shut no matter what. The moment your eyes close, you'll feel a shift in the air, like something moving around you, unseen. It might brush past your skin, or you might hear faint breathing nearby. Ignore everything. Don't flinch. Don't peek. Curiosity will end it all. The amount of time you wait depends on what you're asking for. Simple wishes take only a few minutes. Bigger requests, wealth, power, or love take longer. And if you're asking for something impossible, like bringing someone back from the dead, the timing must be perfect to the second. If you open your eyes too soon or too late, you'll regret it. People who fail at this part are never found again, or worse, only parts of them are. Resist every urge to look. The church knows how to test you. It might make you think you're safe, but it's only playing with you. Focus, count the seconds in your head, and wait for the right moment. When the time is right, and only then, you can open your eyes. But the ritual isn't over yet, you still have more to do. After opening your eyes, the next step is drawing the salt circle. This isn't just a formality, it's the only thing standing between you and whatever is watching from the shadows. You can't use ordinary salt from a store. Reach into the stone bowl on the altar and pull out the coarse, ancient salt waiting there. It feels heavy, like it carries the weight of all those who've done this before you. Make the circle carefully. It needs to be as perfect as possible. No gaps, no broken lines. A square or anything other than a circle won't protect you, and mistakes can't be fixed once the drawing begins. As you work, the air will fill with whispers, voices from your past, memories you thought you'd buried. Ignore them. They're only distractions to make you mess up. Finish the circle without stopping, no matter how loud the whispers get. Once it's complete, the circle becomes a boundary, separating you from what lurks beyond. With this done, you're ready for the next step. Now comes the hardest part, admitting the truth about the people you've hurt. Now, you must speak 3 names, the names of people you've hurt. It doesn't matter how or why you hurt them. It could have been through words, actions, or things you didn't even realize at the time. The church demands honesty. If you try to lie or leave something out, it will know, and the ritual will turn against you. The names must come from your heart, not from convenience. They have to carry real weight, just like the offering did. If you can't think of 3 people, it's better to leave now, though leaving at this stage isn't without risk. Faking it is worse. The church will see through the lie, and the consequences will be severe. Once the names are spoken, the air will shift again, heavier and colder. The ritual listens closely to these confessions, as if feeding on them. This step isn't just about the past, it's about proving you're willing to carry the burden of your actions. With the names given, the candle will flicker wildly. The next moment determines everything. It's time to state your wish. With the names confessed, the church is ready to grant your wish. The candle's flame will turn black, and the air around you will grow colder, as if the room itself is waiting. A voice will speak, clear and direct. What do you seek? This is your only chance. Say exactly what you want. Be specific, clear, and literal. There's no room for clever wording or hidden meanings here. The church doesn't understand metaphors. If your request is vague, the results will be twisted. Someone once asked for more cheddar, hoping for money. They got dogs made of cheese instead. Make sure your words are simple and leave no room for error. And never, ever ask for more wishes. The church isn't interested in loopholes. Only fools try, and they never leave. Once your wish is spoken, the air will stir, and you'll feel a cold breath on your neck. That's the church's way of sealing the deal. Now, the ritual is complete, but your task isn't over yet. You have what you came for, but getting out is the real challenge. And now, you need to leave carefully, step by step. Once your wish is made, you can't stay a second longer. Stand up slowly, keep calm, and don't run. The church doesn't respond well to fear, it senses it, and the things inside are drawn to it. You must move carefully. Walk backward 3 steps at a time, keeping your eyes on the candle. Whatever you do, don't step outside the salt circle until the last possible moment. As you move, strange things might happen. You could hear a familiar voice calling your name, or feel a soft touch on your shoulder. No matter what, don't look back. The church knows your weaknesses and will try to trick you. If you turn, even for a second, you'll see something that wasn't meant for you, and you won't come back from that. When you reach the door, open it gently. Don't slam it or make any noise. The ones still inside don't like to be disturbed, and upsetting them isn't something you want to experience. Close the door quietly behind you, sealing everything inside. Now you've made it out of the church, but the forest is waiting, and it's just as dangerous. Leaving the church is only half the battle. The forest doesn't let go easily. As you step outside, the air feels heavier, and the trees seem closer than before, as if they've shifted in your absence. Now is the time to use the disguise you brought. Put it on quickly and move with purpose. The forest isn't looking for you, it's looking for the person it remembers. With the disguise, you can pass through unnoticed, but only if you stay calm. The path back to your car won't be the same. Branches will snap, and shadows will shift, making you question if something is following. Don't stop. Don't listen. The forest feeds on hesitation. If you keep walking steadily, the things hunting you will stay at a distance. Whatever you do, never glance back, no matter how close the footsteps sound behind you. When you reach the car, get inside, lock the doors, and start the engine immediately. Drive without stopping until you're back in town. Avoid looking in the rearview mirror. The forest doesn't like being watched. If you've followed the steps exactly, you'll make it out. But your journey doesn't end here. The wish has been made, but the consequences have only just begun. Once you've returned to town, things may seem normal at first. But the church doesn't forget, and it never really lets you go. Your wish will come true, maybe right away, maybe after a few days. But from this moment on, you'll never be truly free. The church keeps watching, waiting for the right time to pull you back. It will start small, familiar places feeling strange, dreams that don't feel like dreams, shadows in the corner of your eye that vanish when you turn. Over time, the signs will grow worse. The church doesn't need to force you to return. It lures you, catches you off guard when you least expect it. A wrong step, a glance in the wrong place, and suddenly, you're not where you should be. No matter how long it takes, the church will find its moment. You'll be somewhere familiar, your home, your office, and the next step you take will land you back on its cold, ancient floor. There's no escape after that. Once it gets you back, it keeps you forever. So enjoy your wish while you can. But remember, from now on, every step you take must be careful. Every doorway, every hallway, treat them like traps waiting to spring. Because once the church calls you back, there won't be another way out.